Keep California cowgirls from vanishing.
Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Jumping at liberty to music, making our Morgan horses our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles area. Semi on the big steps. Morgan horse Sadie doing obstacles rainlessly.
Semi drives a cart. Sadie pulls a log. Sadie learns to pull a cart. Miniature Zebu heifer Susie learns to drive a cart. Bull Rusty learns to pull a harrow. Mini Zebu fly control and Seela tack introduction.
Today we're starting a show about tacking up Mini Zebu heifer Seela. We're just going to start getting her used to feeling these things like the surcingle, the britchin, maybe even the yoke. But that's probably too much to even plan on this first session, maybe even this first show. But that's our present objective here at the beginning of summer. Well, before we put any tack on Seela, we decided to go ahead and try a permethrin fly and louse dust for my mini Zebus, because it is getting pretty warm and pretty pesty with the flies. And I usually use spray, but I bought this dust. It says to dust their faces. I'm going to be careful not to get it in her eyes, but I'm going to try it and see if it works better than the spray. Okay, you're watching the first time. It's got a flip lid here with holes in it. I'm going to put it on my hands and carefully put it on her face. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying it on Susie first. We'll see how she does today, and then we'll try it on Seela and Rusty after that. You can see they're all over Seela's face right now. Well, in addition to putting on the powder today, we decided to put on the fly masks, at least on Susie, maybe also on Rusty. I'm not ready to put on a fly mask on Seela because you know what? She's still nursing and I'm afraid it's going to get in her way. But I do have one that I have sewn to fit her, and as soon as we're comfortable putting it on her, we'll do it. Looks just similar to Susie's, a different color, and we pretty much leave these on unless there's some reason to believe they're causing some kind of irritation. So we put the powder on her face. We are using the traditional permethrin liquid spray on her legs, on the sides, but we're pretty sure we're going to have to do that every day, even though I use fly predators, and I doubled my shipment this year. Notice how on the back of Susie's fly mask we have an extra protection so that it doesn't rub. It's a soft Velcro thing so it doesn't rub behind her ears. For those of you who haven't seen the prior shows, the way we have halter trained Seela in the past is we put a loop around her neck. As you can see, that's just actually a dog leash. And then once we've got her looped around the neck, we can pretty much get her to accept the halter. So we're going to turn off the camera for a minute and let you see the halter as it fits on her as well. Okay, it took us less than a minute to get the halter on because once the loop is around her neck, she's pretty docile. We can easily take the leash or loop off her neck. Now walk her around just for a moment, Brianna. That's just a horse halter made smaller. We've done shows about this in the past, but for the sake of today's show, I'm just bringing you up to date on what we've done to train Seela to lead. There she goes. Very nice, Seela.
Step up.
Step up, yes. All right, now we're going to take her over there in the shelter like we had Susie, and we're going to spray her. Maybe try her fly mask on. But as I said, I don't know that I'm going to leave it on. Not yet, because Seela is still nursing. Okay. We're in the shelter here. Susie's nearby, being very protective and very concerned. And now leaving the camera on, I'm going to just see if the fly mask will fit. We've got our liquid fly spray, so we'll fly spray her, and with my hand I'll put it around her head. It's all right, Seela. Try to hold her by the collar as well. I think that will hold her. We don't have a camera person today, so I hope I can keep the camera in the proper view. It's all right, Seela. It's all right, Seela. She's understandably concerned, but as we do this more and more often, I think you'll find that she's going to be more trusting. It's all right. Good girl, Seela. Susie is still nearby, very concerned, as you can see, and I'm glad, because I want her to protect her little baby. Okay.
I think we had it on the other way last time. Maybe.
Yeah, we're even trying to figure out which direction it goes on, but as you can see, it does cover the important part of her face. Brianna's going to try to turn it the other way. Again, I'm not going to leave it on her. Not today. But if there's more sewing to be done, at least I'll know after we've tried it on here. So behind the ears. She's not that strong, but we just don't want to apply that much resistance if we can help it. We want to get her trussed. You see the flies are bothering her legs. I'm going to spray her legs a little more. Okay, let me spray her legs a little more. Bring her back in the camera's view. All right, Seela. My shoer asked me to continue to work with her on her legs too. So just touching her like this with the fly spray is important. That's why I'm not spraying, I'm just using my hand. Okay, fly spray's on. Now one more thing for today's session. It's all right. This is the surcingle that we're going to be using on Seela. Goes around her barrel behind her hump. And this is the breechin that eventually she's going to have to wear on her hips. And this is the most challenging of all piece of tack to put on my cows. Looking up past shows, you'll see. Look at any show that mentions breechin. So it is made out of biothane because it tends to get very dirty when it's on the cow's hips. Okay, she got a little bit upset, so we're just slowing down here, giving her trust. Okay, and again, as I said, this is the biothane. Breechin. It looks very complicated. I'm not even going to unravel it right now. Goes on the hips, and this part here, the crooper, goes under her tail. And that will take us quite a bit of training to get her to accept that. This, being the surcingle, I'm going to at least put it on her back and see how she reacts. It's all right. Want her to feel it. It's nylon, it's lightweight. There you go. There's a cinch on it, which is also a braided nylon. It's the white piece here. We're going to be able to, I believe, but we'll check this out next time. Don't want to do too much this time. We're going to be able to make it small enough so that this surcingle and that nylon cinch will cinch up tight. And you know what? If it doesn't, we'll wait a little longer. She's growing so nicely that we'll let her grow into her tack instead of asking her tack to be altered for a little baby. We want her to be a little adult, ready to go, to be tacked up. Well, we got Rusty's fly mask on. There we go. We had a little trouble finding one that will fit him because he has gotten a little bit more muscular and a little bigger this year. But that's just a horse fly mask and it fits him. And then one more thing for today's session, just to show you a challenge ahead. I love my yoke. It fits Rusty and it fits Susie. And I'm sure as Seela gets a little more stout, it will fit her too. The next day, after we put Susie's fly mask on and Rusty's fly mask on, we realized that the flies were really too severe. In spite of my fly predators and my fly powder and my fly spray for Seela, because there were flies all over her forehead. So we put her special made, I made it smaller for her, pony fly mask on, and it seems to do quite well as far as leaving her nose free and her mouth free for suckling Susie. And we may just take it off in the evenings as we did Susie's last night. Rusty's we left on. He's a little bit harder to handle, and the fly mask is a little bit less restrictive on his head, so we left it on, and unless it gets hung up on something, we'll leave it on each night and probably take Susie and Seela's off, at least until they finish suckling. Another lesson with Seela, and she's doing so well. We're going to actually put some tack on her today if we can, and Brianna's going to give you a kind of an update on our progress that we've made daily with handling my mini Zebu heifer, Seela.
Seela's getting much more confident. She's much more confident, especially away from mom and dad. She herding her into the area where we like to work with her. She's learned that she's small enough and fast enough that she can get away from me when I'm herding her with the trash can that we use. While Rusty and Susie aren't quite agile enough to do that, but she's comfortable enough to run away from mom and dad and stay away from them. So herding her is a little bit of the most difficult part right now, but she's getting very, very confident in letting us touch her and get her fly mask on. She gives almost no resistance to getting the fly mask on. The halter is still a little bit difficult. I think she associates that with doing work and will flee from it for a little bit longer, and we'll just have to work with her a little bit more on that. But confidence-wise, I'm very, very happy with the progress we've made.
Okay, and since our last filming, we had mentioned that we'd probably leave the fly masks on at night, but I got to the point where I just wasn't comfortable leaving them on at night, especially because Seela's still nursing. So we decided we were going to make it our objective to put them on and off each day and hope that the task would become easier and easier, and in fact it has. Now here we are trying to get Seela more desensitized to this tack. Now I'm going to leave this camera on Seela. Brianna being Seela's best friend right now, I'm going to take the lead line and I'm going to ask Brianna to put the surcingle on first, because that's much less intimidating than the britchin, which is what Brianna has in her right hand right now. There are a lot of straps. It's a piece of tack that falls on the hips of the cows, and all along it has been probably our biggest challenge to get that britchin on. So we may just place it on there again today, but we hope we can at least put the surcingle on and buckle it today, which we didn't do last time. Seela tends to put her head down when she's being submissive. You can see that. I may have to go and restrain her a little bit more, but so far so good. You're seeing a great deal of progress. We're very happy. A little bit of concern on her part. But you see how Brianna stays low. We like to stay at Seela's height. She tends to be less intimidated. Much too big still, huh? Okay, well that's okay. Just let her feel that cinch around her belly, just behind her hump. She's doing very well. Doing very well. We have a lot of waiting to do, though. I didn't realize how small she still is, because next to Susie, she appears to be getting closer and closer in height. But obviously,
she's a lot thinner than
yeah, obviously not in muscle and fat. So, okay, we're not in a rush. We're just making small step. Progress is very good. Okay, now let's deal with the britchin. And if we do okay with the britchin, we may go get the yoke and just place it on her neck. These are all feelings that she has to get used to. Now let's go and just put the britchin on her back. Just hold it over, put it on her back, slide it back to her hips. We're not going to put the crooper on. That's always the most challenging of all. The crooper is the leather part that goes under her tail. And the crooper goes in the back, so that gives you an idea, yeah, about how to put the britchin on her back. It's a very, very complicated piece of tack, but really is important when you're doing pulling. Now let's see what Seela says. She doesn't have scours. She just dropped some poop, and she's looking okay. She's not looking real stressed. Very nice. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's about how it looks, right, when it's on. Let's see if we can do that again. She did walk away from it. We don't want to take too big a step today, just little steps. Brianna's always very careful to show my Zebus what it is she's bringing close to them, so they know to trust her. We use natural cowmanship principles here in our training of our mini Zebus to be using animals here at Minmore Farms. And I'm not the only one that uses that term. I've seen it and heard it on RFD TV. Okay, try to go with her. Try to go with her. Okay, all right, there you saw a little bit of stress. Now we don't want to, we're going to have to do it again, and here's the reason. We don't want to give her relief for the wrong answer. And that bit of stress, swinging her hips around like that, close to her mother, close to the panel where her mother is enclosed, you know, that was her attempt to gain security. This time, if you put it down and she doesn't move, pick it right up. See, it's that hip, that feeling on the hip. Beautiful. Perfect. All right, we're going to go get the yoke and just put it on her neck, and that's all we want to do today. Well, now we're introducing Seela to the yoke. The bow goes under her neck. You see, she's backing off. She's not sure what it's all about. I don't blame her. She's never seen or felt a yoke. And it's a beautiful yoke that I ordered from the East Coast years ago for Rusty and Susie. Fortunately, it fits them both. The piece of the yoke that's in Brianna's left hand is a bit heavy, so we really don't want to put that kind of weight on Seela's neck yet, and definitely not today. We just want to get her desensitized. That is, willing to accept, yes, the bow under her neck. And then you know she has tremendous peripheral vision. We're just going to bring the top of the yoke over, show it to her. You see she checks it out. Everything has to be checked out. And we give them the opportunity to do so. And then we're just going to put it over her neck as if it were connected to the bow. A little bit of hesitation. She's pulling back a little bit. You can see she's pulling back a little bit. Good. That's good. That's good. Now I'm going to give her her lead line. Okay, now I'm going to bring her up again. Step up, Seela. Step up. Step up. Okay, now there's no tautness on the lead line. We're going to do it again. Investigation is wonderful. Let her smell it. And then she's going to feel that bow under her neck. She's going to see the top of the yoke over her neck, and that's perfect, Brianna. Just a few seconds that we introduced her today. That was excellent. Now the only other thing we're going to do today, it's going to be a warm day, warm summer day, is put her fly mask back on. We're very happy with the way the fly mask fits her, how it protects her during the day. Now Brianna's going to take the halter off, but she's going to hold on to Seela's collar and put the fly mask on. Perfect. And now Seela, Susie get to join Rusty to graze for the rest of the day. Okay, a summary of other aspects of our training that Brianna is going to tell you about our progress. Go ahead, Brianna.
Seela is very smart. She knows when she's going to be worked, when we're going to work with her. So when I come and do her fly masks in the morning, she's very willing to do that because she knows that she's just going to go back out and graze. But this morning I noticed her collar was getting a little bit tight, so I loosened it one notch. She was very good about that. She didn't run away or anything. And since eventually her feet are going to need trimming from the shoer, we're working with picking up her legs and touching her legs and getting comfortable. There was a little bit of resistance toward touching her back legs mostly, but she was very good about the front legs, and I think if I continue to touch her legs just about every day when I do her fly masks, then it will show immense improvement. So.
All right, we're very happy to report all of this progress, and here's Mr. Rusty, the father, and my bull, and we always let him stay nearby so he doesn't get concerned that something's happening to his ladies.
Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Sammy, Rusty and Susie, heifer calf Seela. For more information, www.cowgirlchannel.com.